Hey everybody, it's Mark Vasquez with the Brick GOP. We're here in Seaside Park. Currently there is a conference behind me going on with Congressman Chris Smith, the Ocean County Sheriff's Department with Sheriff Mastronardi, as well as the Monmouth County and a bunch of elected officials who are tired of being told that these are not a threat to our security. And what they're saying to everybody is to keep an eye out, but they also recognize there have been a lot of false reports. Behind me you see the Sheriff's Department actively flying one of their drones that they've been using for surveillance. And what they're noticing is people are calling in, a lot of these claims are planes that are in the sky. They're asking people to go online. There are apps that you could download to tell you whether or not it's an actual plane or maybe it might be a drone. And if it's a drone, to not call 911, to call the non-emergency line of your town in Brick Township or wherever you live. It's important that the federal government starts bringing transparency, and that is what Congressman Chris Smith and all these elected officials are doing. And so, as you see behind me, they're currently bringing a drone down. This is the technology that they're using to track, very highly sophisticated technology. They do not have the authority to bring down any drones at this time, as the FAA and the federal government are the only ones that can control the skies. But as you see, they are taking action. Again, the elected officials, with Congressman Chris Smith leading the way, they're asking for transparency. So the biggest thing, guys, is keep an eye out, right? Make sure we're not spreading false information, but at the same time that we continue to press the federal government to give us answers. So stay tuned as we get more information for you guys, and stay safe.
And how can he and others, like National Security Spokesman Admiral John Kirby, say we know there's no threat? How do they know that? What aren't they revealing? Are they just saying? How can anyone speculate or issue assurances to thousands, millions of Americans who have witnessed, thousands who have witnessed the drones, that there is no threat? For weeks, we've asked for the truth and action to mitigate any and all threats to people and property. Now, we are demanding it. As the sightings increase, including by service members at Naval Weapons Station Earl, and I did talk to the commander there, his men are seeing it right there at the base. Are you kidding me? A munitions depot of that caliber, and these drones are hovering in close proximity to it. The Coast Guard told me the other day, and Sheriff Mastronardi, that one of its 47-foot rescue boats was followed in very close proximity off its stern by numerous drones. Why can't we bag at least one of these drones and get to the bottom? Why can't we even track them? I asked Secretary Mayorkas at a briefing, a Zoom briefing, why we can't follow them. Find out where they're going. They're coming from somewhere. Okay, you can't seem to do that. Why can't we follow them and find what their origin is? Many of them come from the ocean. I was with Sheriff Mastronardi the other day on the beach, and we saw a video, and we talked to one of his deputies talk about how she had seen 50 of them coming from the ocean to mainland. Is there something out there? We don't have the capability to do that. We don't have control over our airspace. And just remember, ladies and gentlemen, the feckless response to the Chinese Communist Party's spy balloon. When that thing traversed America, it went over one very sensitive base, including the B-2 bombers base, after another. We did nothing except say, oh, it's a spy balloon. Or is it? Or is it a weather balloon? I still can't get over that. The elusive maneuvering of these drones, I would suggest a major military power sophistication that begs the question whether they have been deployed to test our defense capabilities, or worse, by violent dictatorships, perhaps maybe Russia, or China, or Iran, or North Korea. I mean, they have the capability, and they certainly have the motive.
So I'm here with Commissioner Frank Sadeghi from Ocean County. Commissioner, this is the crazy stuff that's going on. In your opinion, what's happening here? What have we been seeing?
Well, that's a good question, and the uncomfortable thing is that we really don't know what's happening. We're getting various informations. I know that people don't know exactly what they're looking at, and they sort of, their imagination goes wild and they come up with all kinds of ideas and such. But when it affects your daily life, like the young father who calls me and wants to know is if his kid is safe in elementary school in Island Heights, that's affecting him. That affects, you go to work thinking that your child is safe. He was talking about maybe what they should do is when they see something in the sky, they should bring the kids in and go into a lockdown mode.
Wow.
Now it's affecting you, and then the conversation at night with your family members is, and the kids want to know, are these friendly drones? Are these adversaries? Very uncomfortable for and they look to us as county officials, municipal officials, state officials to know more, but we don't, because the federal government really hasn't provided us with any information.
So obviously the federal government is lacking information and clarity of what's going on, and I'm sure this is using county resources and tax dollars being put towards the investigation of what's happening in our skies. Is this starting to drain resources? Is this something that we're concerned about, that we're asking the federal government to step in a bit, or Ocean County is still under control right now?
Look, that's something, once we find out the source of these drones, where they're coming from, what their mission is. Once we get beyond that, then we can talk about some of those things. Right now, we have total commitment towards all the resources. Thank God we have someone like Sheriff Mastronardi, who's been really a pioneer when it comes to drones. And I actually, it's sort of coincidence that just recently had the opportunity to go and actually watch and see. He has 2 or 3 sheriff's officers that are responsible for drones, how to fly them, and train the rest of the staff. And they use this for all kinds of purposes, finding bad guys to finding somebody who's missing. So he's been a pioneer on that, and we're relying on him to provide us with all this information. But spending the resources and such, that's important, but we'll do everything that we can. Federal government has failed us, but as county officials, I can tell you that we'll do everything, use all the resources to protect our members of our community.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Appreciate it. I'm with Lieutenant Jardina here with the Ocean County Sheriff's Department. They have been working tirelessly around the clock trying to figure out what the heck the drones are doing out here. I'm sure you've probably got a lot of false reports, but at the same time, some interesting ones as well.
Yes.
So if you don't mind asking, I mean, you guys obviously have some very high-end technology. What are you guys currently doing out there
We're just
surveillancing?
Basically, we're just monitoring the situation, the calls that come in, and just documenting it and comparing the calls that come in with the flight patterns to see if they're drones or planes and stuff like that. And then we're out here trying to see if we could get any images or anything, but nothing successful yet.
Okay. Have you guys been, so obviously you guys are having your drones in the sky, right? And these drones have shown up. When you guys get close, and there's been some reports that people say that their drones turn off. Has anything like that happened to you guys?
Nothing that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is it because the drones just are not around you guys when they show up? That's why you guys haven't seen them, or they're just hard to record?
I think our officers reviewed some of the drones and stuff like that, but not necessarily that they had any interactions with
Okay.
them.
And no reports of any dangerous activities at a local level?
No.
Nothing like that?
No, we don't have any reports that the drones that we're viewing have been doing anything other than flying and stuff like that.
Awesome. What would you recommend to the public if they do see a drone? What action should they take?
Well, like you just heard from Sheriff Golden, call your local agency. Don't call 911 because we don't want to inundate the people with emergencies and stuff like that. But also be aware that you could go online to different programs to see if it's a drone or airplane and stuff like that.
Awesome. And obviously, again, your technology that you guys are using is probably state of the art. Is there anything special about the technology that you're currently using that is going to be able to help us detect these drones?
No, not really. Like our drones, they have thermal, they have infrared, they have regular cameras attached to them. They could zoom quite a distance and stuff like that. As we were demonstrating earlier, we have a tether system that we could put it up about 300, a little over 300 feet up in the air, and that allows us to stay up in the air much longer than than if you're just on battery, which you'd have to change out like every 20 minutes or so.
Awesome. I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me, and hopefully the people of Brick Township get a little clearer information with this, right?
Absolutely.
So appreciate it.
So at this time, you have no idea where those drones are coming from?
No.
What type of threat they pose?
No, do not shoot them down. Like they just stated, you're breaking many state laws and also federal laws. So, and the safety of the people around you, do not fire any weapons at these.
Okay.
Understood.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate
Very well.
it. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
So, President Biden, you're watching this. It's time for you to step up. It's time for you to get the full force of the federal government involved in this so we can have some peace of mind immediately. And if you're not going to do it, then step out of the way. And then we ask our President-elect Donald Trump to start intervening now to get some answers that we need so our residents can enjoy a safe and happy holiday season.
Thank you, Senator.